What's going on, everybody? Here we are 2,000 miles later for the 3,000 mile review video on the 2023 Ninja 400. In about a week I'll have had this bike for a full year, and I don't actually think I have exactly 3,000 miles. It might be 70 short. Well, we're doing this anyways. Now, not a whole lot has changed in the 2,000 miles I've been on this bike. Nothing has been wrong with the bike. No problems have come up or anything. Since I've had the bike, I've added grips. Stom grips, actually. These things are amazing. I've not got a slip-on exhaust just yet. I'm actually not planning on getting a slip-on exhaust for this bike because I don't feel like spending that much money on an exhaust. That really doesn't do a whole lot for the bike's performance or anything. It's kind of the same overcast day as it was when I first did the 1,000 mile review. Yeah, here we are, the Ninja 400 2023. I have been loving the bike so much ever since I got it, and for my first bike, this has just been a complete joy riding this bike. I could have not asked for anything better. I've said it before, and I'll keep on saying it. This is one of the best beginner bikes that anyone can start on if you have not touched a motorcycle before or been on two wheels on a motor. And the funny thing is, when you start with a bike like this, a lot of people are saying that, oh, you're gonna get bored of it right away, you're gonna want to upgrade within a month. That's just not the case at all. In my experience, riding this bike is probably more fun because you get to use 100% of the power, and I've actually almost pushed this bike to its complete limit. Going 110 miles per hour in 6th gear while almost being at redline is just so much fun. If you wanted an approachable bike with great power to start with for a beginner, for a beginner, this would be the bike. Or you get like the Honda CBR 300RR, you get like, I don't know, the MT-03 or Yamaha R3. That's also another great choice. All the two-cylinder bikes that are below 400cc are just great beginner bikes in general. And maintenance is very cost-effective too. I have not really needed to do a whole lot of maintenance on this bike, if any maintenance on this bike, because it's just so nice. I've only rode 3,000 miles in a single year, but it's whatever. And the get up and go, oh my gosh. Another thing would be the highway riding on this bike. Now, highway riding in my experience is not bad at all. There's nothing wrong with being on the highway on this bike. You still have enough power to get up and go if you need to. If you need to switch lanes, getting on the on-ramp, accelerating, I always do it, and you always get ahead of all the cars. Really, there's nothing wrong with that aspect. It's just most of the time you're going to be in 6th gear because you really don't want your bike to be, you know, revving really high, because that's where you're going to be. Also, another thing is the weight of this bike. It is amazing. I weigh 180 pounds, and being on this bike, there is a lot. You can get up and go fast. Like, I'm jogging 0 to 60 within 4 or 5 seconds. It is quick. I'm also 6 feet tall, so if I had a checklist and I had to mark off something bad about the bike, is that if you're too tall, this bike is not really the best with the wind protection, especially if you have the stock windscreen. That thing does not do a whole lot for people that are over even 5'11". It doesn't. That's just truth. And if you get this bike and you're taller like I am, you're going to want to get some kind of a windscreen that's taller. Mine right here is the Zero Gravity Corsa windscreen, and it's farther up. I mean, it still doesn't do the best. It still makes the wind kind of hit me right in my neck area, but at least I can duck down and get below it farther than the stock windscreen. I guess that's good. Going over the highway here, just cruising around right now. I mean, flickable is an understatement with this bike. I mean, like, you can go around on the road a lot with this bike. And it is buttery smooth when you're flicking it like that. You can't even feel the weight on this bike. I mean, like, when you get used to it, like, for example, when I first got this bike, I was in the dealership, I sat on it. I had never sat on a motorcycle before. If I have, I cannot remember. I thought this bike was heavy. I thought this single Ninja 400 was heavy. And the second I got used to it, the second I rode this thing for maybe 10 miles, It felt like nothing. It felt like the bike wasn't even there. I was riding on air, baby. One other thing, cornering on this bike or just going on to the twisties. Oh man, I love this bike and the fucking curves. You can maneuver around every single corner with ease. There's nothing wrong with the capability of this bike in that aspect. I actually did think of another mark-off, another bad thing for this bike is when you're on the highway and it's super windy outside, this bike is going to get thrown all over the place. It is going to get thrown everywhere. There's no controlling that. This bike just gets blown around in the wind. I do try my best to keep it at bay, but man, it is hard. With how light this bike is, it's just really hard to control when you have really windy days. And while we're stopped here, we are sponsored by Lexus. I wish. You can't really say too many bad things about this bike because it is only like $5,600 MSRP. It's really affordable, I'll tell you that much. And no, this bike does not use the highest of quality parts and whatever. You're not going to find like Brembo brakes, or the wheels are, you know, great for the price. You can always upgrade stuff on this bike, but if you want to hash up hundreds if not thousands of dollars on a 400cc, that is up to you. I have yet to bring this bike to the track, and I've wanted to, but I just haven't got to it because there's no track that's near me. I think the closest track to me is like 2.5 hours away. Now, one thing I should have probably done with this bike is get rid of these mirrors right here and put on bar end mirrors right here. That would help a lot. And these mirrors are so massive and they stick out so far. If these cars weren't here, god damn it. So as you can tell right here, I'm in 5th gear going 70 miles per hour. I'm already rocking 7,000 RPMs. And let's see how good these corners are. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Yep, handles like a dream. And just like that, we're back to right where we started. Lovely. There's not really a whole lot more I can cover on this bike. I did a lot more in the first review, the 1,000-mile review right here. I mean, you're more upright on this bike than you are on, say, an inline 4. A lot of them, you know, you're in that aggressive race position at all times. With this, no. You are way upright, and it is way more comfortable. If you get a nicer seat, you could be on this for way longer as well, but I haven't really invested in that myself. The most I ever rode on this bike at a time is like 1 hour and 20 minutes, and my ass was sore. 3,000-mile review, guys. Yes, it's still good. It's still been great to me. It's been very loyal and faithful. It is a great bike from Kawasaki, and if you're a beginner, highly recommend that you start with something small like this. They're just great. You get a crap ton of power. So guys, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff. Remember to keep on riding, be safe, and enjoy your life. I'll be posting more videos very soon. I may have something special coming up very soon, who knows. But I'm out, guys. Yeah, go get this bike. Beginner, great bike. I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Woo!